Good evening and welcome. My name is Michele and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stamping Up. Hi Deborah, how are you? It's great to have you on here. Now tonight we're going to be working on a card that I'm going to put into the Just Add Ink challenge. So I thought I would do it with your help. Now before we get started with any of this, please, when you jump on, let me know who you are if your name doesn't come up and where you're from, particularly if you're new to my channel. So I've got this streaming on both my Facebook pages, live with Michele, keep on stamping with Michele, and on my business page, and I've also got this on YouTube. Now I'm going to be asking a few questions because I want some help with this. It's only a very basic card. The challenge this week with Just Add Ink is clean and simple. So the first thing I'm going to ask is, what is a clean and simple card? You tell me. And while I'm waiting for somebody to pop an answer up, I'm going to turn my camera down so it's facing my table. Won't be 1 second. Hi, Glenda. How are you? Okay, so what is a clean and simple card? Can anyone tell me? Because I sure sometimes don't know what it is. Everyone has a different idea of what clean and simple is. Is it a card without layers? Minimal stamping? Can you add die cuts? Myself personally, I think it's something that doesn't have a lot of different elements to it. It could be just something very, very minimal and very, very plain. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are. I don't do clean and simple very often. I must admit, if you asked me, I'd probably say that I was clean and simple, but I know I'm not because I tend to add lots and lots of layers. Stamps, ink, and paper. Would you put designer series paper, Glenda, onto a plain and simple card? So, or clean and simple, I should say. So what I'm going to be using basically what Glenda says, stamps, ink, and paper. I am going to be doing 2 layers of paper, but I'm not going to use any designer series paper. I checked on Pinterest today, and it's broad. It's very, very broad what people consider as clean and simple. Please ignore your angry face pushed it when you... That's okay. Your name is not coming up, so I'm not even quite sure who you are, but that's all right. I will forgive you. Maybe. Yeah, some of the clean and simple cards I've seen have got like they've cut out stars out of designer series paper without actually having stamped images or cut out circles. You know, it's Shelley. Hello. You're only coming up as a Facebook user, Shelley. So you just need to give permissions to StreamYards for your name to come up. So I'm going to keep this relatively simple. It's not going to be probably a very long live tonight, but I am going to be using the color and contour stamps because I just love the simplicity of this, and I suppose keeping it clean and simple, a stamp set which is quite simple is a good one to use. It's only a 2-step stamp. You've got your outline and you've got your stamp that does the filling in for you, so you don't even need to worry about coloring. But me being me, I've still got to add a little bit of interest to my card. Whether it's a little bit embossing, I need to have a little bit texture. So what I'm going to use is, last week I showed you the new masks that are coming out in the new catalogue, and this is one of the other ones. It's like a houndstooth. So I'm going to do a little bit of a houndstooth background. So let me pop those aside. I'm only going to be using 2 layers of cardstock, and I'm doing basically white on white. You could even actually eliminate this top layer if you wanted to, but I just wanted to have a little bit of definition between the two layers of my card. So I've just taken a piece of A4 cardstock, or you could use the American letter size cardstock, cut it in half to give me a tent fold card, and I've scored it in the middle. Now I'm running behind in my blogging at the moment. I had a weekend where my husband and I went away on Saturday to Canberra, which was very lovely. Not quite as cold as what I was expecting. We didn't see any snow, but it was still cool. But it was lovely to catch up. So I haven't even caught up with last Friday's blog yet. And I do have a little bit of sewing. The sewing is starting to pick up. So I'm not quite sure when I'll get this done, but I'll get it done as soon as possible. But it's quite a simple little card base there. It's my standard card base. And then I've cut my next piece of cardstock down by about 1/2 centimetre or 1/4 inch smaller than my card base. So I'm going to pop that onto my scrap paper here, and I'm going to just layer my mask over the top. Now, of course, you can adhere that down with a bit of tape if you wanted to. Let me have a look here. I have got some old washi tape here, and I'm just going to line that up and just pop that down to hold my mask into place. I am not worrying about holding down the piece underneath, because even though I'm going to put a little bit of colour on here, I'm not going to be putting a huge amount, and it's only going to be one singular colour. So the colours I've chosen to use for tonight is really grey granite and bubble bath and my memento black to do a bit of stamping with. So I'm going to do my houndstooth in the grey granite. I want to keep it fairly soft. Let me pop that out of the road so I don't get that dirty. And I've got my blending brush here. So I'm just going to load this up with a little bit of ink. Now just remember, you don't need to put too much ink on here. And I'm just going to tap that off a little bit. And I'm going to probably put my flower image somewhere around about here, because all I really want is my flower and my sentiment. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of the colour on here. And I'm not covering the whole area. I'm just going to be putting a little bit where the flowers, so it's going to be coming from behind the flowers. Whoops, my cardstock has moved just a fraction, but that's okay. We'll just tap that back into place there. That will do. And we'll just keep adding some more colour. So I hope everybody's having a nice day where they are. I hope you all had a lovely weekend. It's been a bit chilly here in the Southern Highlands. Rain yesterday, and so I had on Sunday we had rain. We had rain yesterday too, but I had a pajama day on Sunday. I just decided that I was just going to relax after having a big day in Canberra the day before. Now I'm just brushing, I'm not adding any more colour, and I'm just brushing that out around to the edges, just so then it blends out to nothing. I've got someone else saying hello, and again, it's come up as a Facebook user. So I'm not quite sure who you are, but hello and welcome. Okay, so let's have a look at this. I'm going to very carefully lift this up from one end and just make sure I've got enough colour on there. And yes, I have. I don't want to add any more than that. So I'll pop that to one side and I'll clean that down a little bit later on. So it's just adding that little bit of grey in there, so it's just got a little bit of texture on my background. I probably could have added a little bit less, but that's okay. We're going to keep working and keep playing with what we've got. So we could very easily stamp directly on top of this and just keep it like a black and white grey sort of card, but I do want to add a bit of colour, and I don't want the houndstooth print to come through my flowers. So I've got another piece of basic white cardstock here, and I'm going to grab my stamps, which I haven't blocked up as yet. That's okay, it won't take long to do that. So we need that stamp, and we need this one. And grab the blocks. No, you want a bit wider than that one. Okay. That's a better one. That one onto there. And then that one can just go onto there. So I'm going to use my Memento, which is probably my all-time favourite black ink. Give that a really good ink up. Now we are working on photopolymer, so I'm just going to grab my mat and pop that underneath there. Pop that dye away. We don't need that just yet. Hello, Robin. How are you? And we're just going to stamp that onto there. Just hold that down for a few seconds and let that ink absorb. And there's our image there, beautifully done. As you can see, it is a very, very simple stamp set to use, and Clean and Simple is a very simple sort of card. So why don't you jump on to Just Add Ink on their blog spot and have a look at it and have a go. Now these I don't think line up perfectly, but we just want to line them up the best that we can. So I'm just moving this around a little bit. And there is that, just really soft and subtle. So hello, Joan, because who doesn't like pink and grey together? I think it's just gorgeous. Okay, so now we're going to die cut this. So I'm going to trim this down a little bit. So let me just move my mat out of the road. Trim this down because I'm going to use my mini trimmer. Cut that down so it'll fit through the trimmer, the cut and emboss machine. Pop that to one side. Okay. So what has everybody been up to this week? Hello, Anne. Gee, lots of people jumping on tonight, which is good. We're just doing a clean and simple card because Just Add Ink have got a challenge going at the moment for clean and simple cards, and I'd really encourage all of you to have a go and make a clean and simple card. Just going to add that directly on top and run that through. So I'm keeping this just very, very simple and basic. With just that little bit of stamping. We're going to add that onto there, just like that. And now we need a sentiment. So the sentiments in this particular suite, I'm thinking of thank you for everything. So let me just have a look. Got that one just there. Looks like I didn't clean that stamp very well after last time I used it, so I might just give it a little bit of a scrub. And do the others while we're at it. And again, I'm just going to use some black memento. Just lining this up on my grid paper. I wanted to get it straight as possible. I'm going to be using the masking underneath to help me with that. And I think we're going to go just about there. Who likes doing challenge cards? I do, because it just keeps me thinking. Someone gives me a challenge, and then I've got to work out how am I going to do it? What am I going to do? What stamps am I going to use? I find it quite fun to do challenge cards. And that's just going to go on there just like that. So just keeping everything very, very simple. Hi, Lenny. How are you? Okay. Now I'm going to pop my flowers up on a couple of dimensionals. And I'm just using some mini ones. Using the mini ones because I've just about run out of my other ones, and I haven't been bothered to get them out of the cupboard as yet. Now these parts here are quite small, so I'm just going to grab my scissors here because I do want to put some dimensionals on the leaves and so forth, just to hold them up. I'll pop one there. Backing's already come off that. That's okay. Whoops. Keeps falling down on my, hitting my card. Okay. I'm going to pop another one just on there and one more, I think, just to support that stem. Okay, I've taken the backing off it and left the dimensional behind. There we go, that's better. Let's grab that card base and just pop that. Just on there. Like that. And then I'm going to adhere that straight onto there. So I'm not going to put any dimensionals or anything underneath. Thank you, Rose. Thank you for joining us tonight. So our criteria for this card is clean and simple. Just give that a bit of a light rub on the inside. And there we go. So if we were going to add a little bit extra, the only thing extra I probably would add is maybe a couple of these. And I wouldn't be adding too many. And I'm just going to add some grey ones in here just to one. Oops. Two. I only want to put 3 on here. Okay, so if I've got that one, actually, I'm going to move. I want to pop that one there. Let's move this one if I can. To there. Okay. Got to put a little bit of something on there. So that's the classic matte dots that I've used, which are black, basic grey, very vanilla and white. And of course you could have used the white ones and coloured them with your bubble bath blends as well. But anyway, that's my clean and simple card. So very simple, very quick, really great sort of card if you just want a quick card to make. And I'm going to photograph that tomorrow and add that to the challenge page. So let me just bring this up so you can see that colour, that just very soft pink. I hope you can see that. And the grey granite background using that houndstooth mask. So thank you very much for joining me tonight. I hope you can join me on Friday and we'll create another card. But please jump on to Just Add Ink and maybe have a go at some of these challenges yourself. A card like this, I mean, and the challenge, you know, clean and simple. Look, it's easy. And all you need to then do is take a photograph of it, add it onto either a blog or a Facebook page or something like that, and then link it back to, well, put it up onto Just Add Ink and link it back to your page. It's very, very simple to do. So have a go. Let me know. Tag me in your cards if you do make them. Even add a card into the comments on my Facebook page, and I will get back to you and let you know what I think. And I'm sure I'm going to love everything you make. So thank you for joining me tonight. Have a lovely evening. Bye for now.